All right, guys, welcome back. David, along with Andrew, again, we're gonna recap the Packers' win against the Cardinals, Week 6 of the NFL 2024. All right, Andrew. So 34-13, right?
Yeah.
I should have picked this up before going live, but
Yeah.
okay, 34-13. I think we looked good offensively, defensively, special teams question mark, except for Nixon on that punt return. But well, of
This
course,
was overall a good game.
yeah, overall a good game. I do got a little bit of criticism to still throw at the Pack, but like I said, as long as we're getting better every week, that's what I care about. And I do think this was our best game of the season. I think we are getting better every week. So the criticism is just me pretty much saying I want us to be great. That's it. So, but we'll get into that as that goes on. So offensively, we can start off offensively. What'd you see?
So I saw what I kind of been wanting from Matt LaFleur's play calling, to be honest with you. He almost did some of the play calls that he did with Malik Willis in the game with Jordan Love. And they came out and they did really well with it. Now, you can open it up more with Jordan because he does have the arm talent, arm strength, accuracy, all that good stuff. So you saw some of those deep bombs to Watson and Dobbs and stuff like that, right? I just liked it was a little bit this week seemed like a little bit more creative play calling with Jordan Love in the offense, almost like it was with Malik. So that's what I like to see. Running the ball pretty decently. I think at one point Josh Jacobs was over 4.4 yards a carry, but I think he ended with 3.4 because that last few carries he lost yards, I think.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the run game was pretty good. Run blocking could be a little better, but like I said, I like Matt's play calling this, I like the play calling in this game with Jordan Love and not letting Jordan put it all on his shoulders and air it out.
Yeah. It kind of looked like he was gonna throw for 40 times early in the game. I definitely saw him. I think by halftime. Hold on, let's look at these stats real fast because yeah, he threw for 32 times, but by halftime, I think he had over 20. So I was like, oh man, he's going towards 40, and I don't think he needs to. But it kind of looks like LaFleur put the brakes on it, got the game going. I like that LaFleur balanced the run and passing game again. It wasn't as balanced, but I think it's because our offense was out there a lot. We ran a lot of plays. So, of course, J Love is going to throw a lot. I would like to see him under 30, especially in a blowout like this. I mean, you don't got to throw the ball that much in a blowout like this. But, I mean, like I said, we had the ball for a lot. We ran a lot of plays, so odds are he's going to run a lot. But I think a lot of the success today was play action. Play action. I think that helps J Love. We ran a lot of play action this game, a lot. And at the same time, I think Jacob still got his 15-plus carries.
18 carries, 62 yards.
Yeah, our other receivers, running backs looked nice. Let's see. I think we balanced the ball well with our top three receivers. Reed had 6 catches, Romeo 3, Christian 3, and they all had a touchdown. I think everyone on that offense should be happy. Jay Love's interception shouldn't have been an interception, but at the same time, I kind of think there's a lot safer place to run with that. I mean, you knew the condition of the field; someone can slip. Why are you going to throw that pass when you know there's a receiver and defender right behind them? I think in that scenario is 24/7. I think there's a time. I think the goal on that drive was not necessarily get another touchdown, not necessarily get another field goal, but I think the goal was to go into the locker room at least up 17. But instead, we turn the ball over. Cardinals kick a field goal, and you're up 14 instead of 17 with the Cardinals getting the ball back. Now, the only reason why I didn't like that is because it could have been a momentum changer. Luckily for us, it wasn't. But I'm saying, it could have been. I think they came out and put up 3 points right away on halftime, but that was it. Our defense came to play after that. 3 turnovers in a row. We'll get back into the defense later, though. But sticking on the offense real fast, Dontavian Wicks out with a shoulder injury. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I was watching the game. I didn't even realize he was out until they said something.
Yeah, and there was a play. He caught a ball and then he came up grimacing. I don't know if you noticed it, but
Okay.
he came up grimacing, and yeah, I noticed he wasn't in the game. And then I saw reports on Twitter saying that he was questionable with a shoulder injury. And then I think the second half they officially ruled him out of the game. Reed also went out for a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that he had the ankle injury. Luckily, he came back in the game. But going back to
Hold
going back.
on, hold on, real fast, because we do got a comment, not a guess. We got a comment. It said, "Any word on Myers?" I haven't heard anything. Have you?
He came back in the net, on the field goal block
Okay.
or the field goal attempt.
Okay.
So he's good. I think he's good. He's good.
I don't know about that. Love had a lot of time in the pocket today. Yeah, Love did have a lot of time in the pocket. Offensive line came to play today. No, I'll be honest. When Myers went out, I was a little shocked to see Jenkins at center. I thought Tom would go to center, but I mean,
I think Jenkins has been practicing as our backup center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jenkins is our backup center.
Um,
Yeah, but going back to because I'm going to touch on the interception of Jordan Love. I know you said there was safer plays, but Bo Melton was wide open. He was wide. If he didn't slip, that was an easy catch and a first down possibly. He was wide open. So
yeah,
I know you're not saying that was Jordan Love's fault.
It wasn't.
But yeah, and that's it sucks that it's on his stat line.
Yeah,
but Bo Melton was wide open. He just slips.
I guess what I didn't like about that drive, I didn't really even know what LaFleur was doing. I mean, like it didn't seem like he was like it seemed like he didn't care about scoring, but then it seemed like he did. Like I said, safer plays. That's just my thing. Safer plays to run on that. But like I said, that slip is not on LaFleur or Love. That slip is on the field, Melton, whoever you want to blame it on. But it's just one of those like it didn't need to happen, but you're okay that it happened because it's not really anyone's fault, I guess. It's just that like I'm a big fan that like, hey, we put our foot on their neck, leave it on their neck. Like, don't give them anything to cheer about. Like, and I know that's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. This is a professional league. You're gonna get fights from the other team all game long, or at least you should. So I get it. It's easier said than done. But like, man, give them a little breathing room. They didn't do anything with it. Now, I want to say this about the score. 34-13. It looks like everything, was all Packers today. But the truth is, man, Cardinals killed themselves with penalties. They killed themselves. Like, if they played a clean game, it's probably a closer game. I still think we dominate. I mean, but I don't think we win by 21. Maybe like 10. Maybe. I don't know. It just depends. If Marvin Harrison stays in the game, who knows what happens. But I mean, I really like how we played offensively, defensively, and now, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the offense, but do you want anything to say right now?
Go ahead. What you got?
So on the second offensive drive, first drive, we didn't really do much. Second offensive drive, we got our first touchdown. One thing I realized about that drive, we ran the ball. We ran the ball a lot, even with some reverses. We ran the ball, and it set up a touchdown. And then the following drive, we scored again with Dobbs touchdown. There was a play on there though where I think it's like 1st and 10. We were already in the Cardinal territory, and it was 1st and 10, like around the 40 something. And J Love looks deep on first down. I'm like, dude, just run the ball. Like to me, that was a wasted down. I mean, we still scored a touchdown. It was a wasted down though. Guy wasn't even open. Just like going back to trying to do too much. Like I think at that point 7-0. Like if it's deep and it's there, I'm all for it. But kind of wasn't there. But still scored a touchdown. Fourth drive, Narvison made a field goal. Okay, we'll get into that later. Fifth drive, play action touchdown to Watson. Very nice. That's one of those opportunities that's going to be there. And then I heard the commentators say that he spoke with LaFleur, and that LaFleur was saying that we coach Jordan Love not to do too much. We tell him, hey, the opportunities will come, but do it when they come. Like LaFleur, that's what he coaches Jordan Love. So it kind of makes me think like, okay, if that's the way you're being coached, And that touchdown to Dobbs, Dobbs' second touchdown, which I'm gonna get into, that was one of those throws, Andrew, where he just threw it up. He just threw it up, and we want to praise it because it's a touchdown. But at the end of the day, the cornerback didn't know what was going on, and I think 9 times out of 10, that's an interception or an incomplete pass. But Dobbs was looking for the ball, cornerback wasn't. That's why it was a touchdown. But if you watch the play, J Love just chunked it up, and it's one of those plays where I don't like it when J Love chunks it up. But hold on, we'll get to that. So the 6th offensive drive, that's we ran the ball. Oh, that was towards the end, turnover. I'm okay with that, whatever. And then the 7th one, that's the one where Dobbs caught the chunk up for a touchdown. The 8th drive, okay, the 8th drive I thought was the ugliest offensive drive because that was when we got a turnover. And then we're up 31-13, and we throw the ball on 3 straight downs with 2-something left in the 3rd quarter. I was like, okay, we should be in the 4th quarter right now. Like, I don't understand why we threw the ball 3 times.
We should be running the ball.
Like, for me, that's kind of like on the floor. Like, I'm like, dude, why? I mean, come on, J Love's his stat sheets are already up. Like, just take the time off the clock, man. Like, but like I said, it didn't hurt us, right? It didn't hurt us, so it's not something I'm too concerned about. On the 8th drive, and the reason why I put, because we threw the ball 3 times, we got 0 yards, and Narveson misses a field goal, right? I think if you're dealing with a struggling kicker and you don't really need the points, at least give him a short field goal, right? Because after he missed that, and then the 9th drive, I think that's when Narveson came back and made his field goal. You could see it in his face. He don't look confident anymore, even though he made it. I don't know if you saw it, but like it was kind of like a look of relief instead of hell yeah, like I made one. But yeah. So those were my notes on all the drives for the offense. Like I said, a lot more good than bad. It's just that chunk up by J Love. I didn't like that. Running the ball 3 times when you're up 31. I mean, throwing the ball 3 times when you're up 31-13 at the end of the 3rd quarter. I mean, I think that was a waste of possession. But like I said, the reason why it doesn't matter is because the whole team is playing well, right? But, if there's ever a game where the defense ain't playing well, I mean, we kind of do got to be great on offense. But that's my thought on offense. What's your response to that, and anything else you got to say?
Yeah, no, you're worried about the chunk ups Dobbs is very valid. But I think we kind of alluded to J Love is more Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers, right? At this point in time, I'm not saying we have to live with it, but Brett Favre is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play football, right? So if that's going to be Jordan Love, then fine, right? Fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it worked out in our favor this time, and against Minnesota, it didn't when he chunked it up. They intercepted the ball. I think it's going to be one of those things with Jordan throughout his career. It is going to be what it is. I honestly think that. Like I said, but if it does end up a career almost similar to Brett Favre, I think you take that though.
Okay. Do you take that just because we got a good defense? Like, for example, would you take that with the Joe Barry defense?
I mean, I would take like you're talking about a Brett Favre career.
No, well, as far as like Super Bowl, right? Like, do you see if J Love just wants to chunk it up, be more of Brett Favre like Aaron Rodgers? Do you still see him winning a Super Bowl if we had a mediocre or below mediocre defense? Do you still think Love can win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, for sure.
So you think he can have turnovers and still win a Super Bowl with a below average defense?
I think so.
Damn.
I think they'll be able to. He's gonna have to put up the point. I mean, like I said, if he ascends to now, I'm not saying Jordan Love is Brett Favre level.
Hold on. Hey Tommy, thank you for the rose gift, man. Appreciate you. We both appreciate you. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right, go ahead, bro.
I'm not saying Jordan Love is Brett Favre level yet, but if he ascends to that, then yes, because I mean Brett Favre went to 2 and won 1, right? So I mean, I think it's gonna be.
But Brett Favre had good defenses, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what saved him. I think okay, because I want to my biggest 2 criticisms too. I want to get into it. I kind of feel like when we try to do too much or if we're not disciplined, that's when bad things start to happen. And it's not just with the team. I feel like that's how it is in life, right? Like let me see what I wrote down here. Um that's more defense, so we'll talk about that later. That's defense. Uh, so, like for example, one of the disciplined things that I really liked, Evan Williams is very disciplined. Did you see Kyler Murray on that 3rd and 1 where he faked it to the
Yeah, and he made the tackle in the back room. Yeah.
Now later on in the game, Lucas Van Ness had the same opportunity, and Lucas bit, and Kyler ran it for a solid 10 yards, but he got called back with a holding. That was towards the end of the game. I'm saying, like, with these defensive ends, like we did very good against Murray today, very good. But I think they need to know that they have to contain the outside, man. Like if the rush is on the opposite side of the field, you do not need to bite on that. Like if they rush it to the opposite side and it's a touchdown, it's not your fault. Like it's not your fault, right? It's whoever was on that side. Like you don't 100% have to bite on that. Like the last thing I want is you biting on that, and then Murray comes around for a 50-yard gain. Like that's on you, bro. You know. So Lucas bit, and he got beaten for it. He got saved by the flag, but Evans didn't bite. And then
yeah, but that one with Evan, he did have Preston on there too. So
yeah,
Preston bit on the Preston bit, or I think it was Preston.
It was Lucas. It was Lucas. Like
he bit. So, but I think Lucas knew. Are you talking about the same play?
No, I'm talking about Evans' play. It wasn't Preston. It was Lucas.
Yeah, so he bit, which I think Evans had. Like that's why Evans stayed outside to hold. I think it was by design. To be honest,
probably.
Yeah.
Because when Lucas bit, there was no one backing him up. But
yeah,
I think on that play, Lucas did have the running back, and
because they had the running back, and while Evan Williams had had Kyler Murray. So
yeah.
I think it was by design almost.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree. Like they gotta be the edge. They gotta set the edge typically.
Yeah. And then just as far as trying to do too much, I think that's when we start to get in trouble too. I think in that last drive of the first half, I think we tried to do too much, and it came back and bit us in the butt. I'm a big believer, Andrew. Try to get points if you can, but I'm also a believer. Observe how the game is going. Defense was shutting down the Cardinals. You don't need points at the end of the half. You don't. What you don't need is a turnover on your side of the field. That is one thing you don't need. So I understand the pass was there, but just run the damn ball, man. Like, I mean, if you see it, like, okay, or like call a play action. I don't even think that was a play action. So, but like I said, it's something that is really no one's fault. It's just that I don't think it had to happen type of thing.
Yeah.
Going back on discipline too, I think when we're on discipline, we kind of open up the door for the other team. I think if you look at the Cardinals' first touchdown, it came off a Jair Alexander a personal foul at the end of a play. As soon as that 15 yards hit, the Cardinals turned it on. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it was funny because, like, the play before that, because my girl was watching the game with me, I told her, I was like, man, I love that Jair gets in the guys' faces. And then the very next play, he gets hit with a penalty for I don't know what he did. They didn't even show it.
They didn't even show it. So that's why I don't even know what happened. I mean, that's why I don't know.
Yeah. But hold on, Andrew. Let me look through these comments, see if anything's good up here. You can't live on just turnovers for the D. Yeah, I agree. Thankfully, we got a good offense. But I think our D is a lot better than last year. And I think we have 2+ turnovers every game so far, which is very good. We definitely did not have that in years prior. But I mean, yeah, you're right. We can't just live off that. We gotta score. Let's see. The backs. Backfield, Tristan. All right. They were getting like 5 yards a rush attempt. Is that true? Are you talking about the Cardinals?
I mean, yeah. Trey Benson was averaging 5.2. The other running back 6.3.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does look like they were averaging quite a bit on the run.
No, they averaged 3 point as a team.
Yeah, as a team.
3.9.
Okay. That's still good. It's just that they couldn't. That's not bad. 3.9 a carry is not bad. I always say anything over 4 is good. I mean, it's right under 4. But I mean, they were behind most of the game too. I think if it was different, they would have ran the ball a lot more. They also had a lot of injuries, a lot of penalties, and I think that's what really made them get blown out more than anything. But okay, anything else you want to touch on the offense, Andrew?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have too much criticism on offense. I liked the way the offense played. I feel like the offensive line held up.
Yeah, offense looked good, or offensive line. I mean,
yeah, they held up pretty well. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else on the offense.
Yeah, Tommy, 14 penalties. Yeah, that was terrible. All right, I think before this game, the Cardinals only averaged like 3 penalties a game.
And yeah, they were like the lowest penalized team in the league, I think.
Yeah, but hey, give props to J Love. He had that hard count going, and he was confusing them, and yeah. I like that. That's good. That is one great thing a great quarterback does. And I like J Love because he can read defenses better than I kind of feel like Aaron Rodgers did, if I'm being honest with you. It's not that Aaron Rodgers. If you watch Aaron Rodgers with the Jets this year, he's not reading the defense good, man. Like there's times where like I see the blitz coming and he don't see it and he gets sacked from his blind side, and I'm just like, come on, dude. Like you should see that coming. I saw that coming. But I think J Love is getting good at reading defenses. That hard count helps. He know like they bite a little bit, so he knows where the pressure's coming. It's just that sometimes they still get to him though, and I'm like, man, like if you knew that was coming, why you not dumping it short? Or I don't know, but like we get to that later. But and then my only little concern too is remember how I told you if Watson is 1-on-1 in the end zone, especially in the red zone, like I'm okay with that chunk up to him. There was one drive where he chunked it up to Watson in the end zone 1-on-1, and defender made a good play. Might have even gotten there a little bit earlier, and he was definitely early. We kicked a field goal. My only thing about that is like I like it, like 1-on-1 Watson end zone, but Reed was wide open over the middle of the field. He was wide open, and I'm like, are you not seeing that? Like, I mean, I don't know.
That was a play. I think he already had his mind made up where he was going to go because he knew Watson was 1-on-1.
Yeah.
So that I think that's one of those plays that he saw it pre-snap and he's like, I'm going there automatically, and it didn't work out.
Yeah. All right. So Tommy, thank you for the roses, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tommy. All right. So DJ said, which fan base is worse, Bears or Vikings? You know, I actually went to Chicago last year for a Packers game, and it was like 50-50. Some of them were nice. Some of them were bad. The ones that were nice actually respect the Packers and know we're a good team. The ones that were bad are just miserable. As far as Vikings fans, I've never had a problem with Vikings fans, to be honest. So I would go with Bears. What about you, Andrew? Who do you think's worse?
I think Bears fans, only because they're more. I feel like they're more delusional than Vikings fans.
Yeah,
but sure. I haven't had a bad experience with either fan base.
Yeah, and then someone put kicker is Buns. Yeah, we're gonna get into the kicker here in a little bit, man. Stay if you want to stay for that. Tommy also said, but Tucker Kraft is making a case for top tier talent for us. I said a couple of lives before, I said that I think by the end of the season, Kraft is going to be one of the top tight ends in the league. Maybe not the best because there's Kelsey, of course, and Kittle, but I do think he's going to be at the top by the end of the season, yeah. as long as he can stay healthy. I definitely like Kraft for sure.
Yep.
All right. All right. Do you want to switch into special teams? I mean, like I said, we kind of don't have to talk too much about the offense. They look good. We covered how they look good.
Yeah,
we can move on if you want.
Jordan's knee looks healthy, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think he should have sat out that Minnesota game, but it's okay. Like I guess you got to try, and especially if nothing negative came out of it.
Yeah.
But he definitely looks healthier now. So yeah, I definitely think he should be in there now for sure. All right. Before we switch to the kicker, I want to just glance at the Cardinals stats real fast. I want because we're gonna get into the defense after that. Yeah, Trey McBride. I realized even though we had a well game, we kind of struggled stopping McBride. Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, Trey McBride's a beast. So.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. Okay. Before we get into the kicker, did you want to say something else?
No. We
Okay.
can go into old Narvison.
Someone said, "Do the Packers play any good teams this year?" Yeah, bro. Just look at their schedule. All right. So, all right, man. Let's get into the kicker. Narvison. What do you guys say about that?
Man. So I was kind of going into the game because I don't think he missed a kick last week.
He didn't. I remember you telling me what did I think about that.
Yeah, he didn't miss a kick last week. So coming into this game and him making all his extra points as of before he missed the field goal, I was like, man, if he can go clean for 2 weeks, the narrative might change a little bit for Narvison. And then next thing you know, he's shooting a 44-yarder wide right from the last hash mark, and that's his Achilles heel. For whatever reason, he cannot hit from the left hash 40+ yards typically. Again, I don't know what else to say. What else to do? What else we're gonna do? Like, who else are we gonna bring in? That's my point. And I get it. It's frustrating. It's like, God, because if this game was a lot closer and we actually needed those 3 points, like that would be like irritating and frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Like it's bad. It's like you missed 5 field goals already this season, 6 field goals already this season.
He's at 5, and Carlson missed 6 all of last season.
Yeah, and that's wild.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep, I agree.
And then you go 3 yards forward and you make the 41-yarder right down the middle. I don't know what the issue is, and I don't know. Oh, pick. Sorry, I'm watching the Cowboys game. I don't know what the issue is, and I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah.
Because if we get rid of him, who else are we gonna bring in?
Yeah. So we got a question. It says, do you think Anders is better than our kicker now? I do. I like Carlson better than Narvison. Now, I will say this though. I was very huge on Narvison early in the season. Like, I was defending him because I was in the game in Brazil and I was watching his pre-kicks or his pre-game kicks, and he was drilling from like 65 yards. And I've been defending him. But then a few weeks ago, I was like, you know what? Let me pull up Carlson's numbers and just compare them to Narvison. And so when I did that, I realized Carlson only missed 6 field goals last year. He went 27 for 33. But he also went, I think, 34 for 39 on extra points. Narvison has not missed an extra point yet he has 5 missed field goals, and we're barely in week 6. So I went from being a big Narvison fan, defending him, to all of a sudden now I'm kind of like, well, I can't really defend you anymore. Like, you're 5 missed field goals in 6 weeks. I can't defend you to the point where if Packers get rid of you, I got to be on board with that too, because, I mean, you have time to make it better, man. You have. This whole 1 missed field goal a game is not going to sit good with the Packers coaching staff. At least it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Now, as far as going to what Andrew said is, what's the solution? You do what you did with Carlson. You drop him and you bring in someone and you hope he's better. Because, like, the last thing you want is for Narvison to lose it in the playoffs because of that. Like I said, I think the Packers need to swallow the pill that they got rid of the better kicker as of right now. If we're talking about right now, I think Carlson was a better kicker. And honestly, if Carlson just makes his extra points, I think he still has his job. So
I agree.
And I mean, like, what's harder to fix? Narvison with his 40 yarders or Carlson with his extra points? I think it's easier to fix the extra points, if you ask me. Now, I'm not saying Carlson would come back, but I'm saying, like, as of right now, it doesn't look like getting rid of Carlson and rolling with Narvison was the right thing. I think the right thing was sticking with Carlson. As of right now, if we're speaking right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you can tell how low our standard is, the bar is for kicking, is because we were all telling Carlson to get out of town last year, right? And now we're begging him, or we're almost begging him to come back. We'll take your 6 minutes extra field goals, and your extra points because you can at least be better than Narvison. That's wild to me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you saw the reaction of Matt and Jordan after the missed field goal.
No.
Yeah, it looks like they're fed up too. But I don't know. At what point do you say, like, when do we go for it more often than not? Like, if it's 4th and 5 or less, and it's a 40-yard field goal, do we still go for it, or you gotta keep the field goal?
No, Andrew. I mean, what's the point of paying a kicker if you're not going to kick a field goal? Like, my thing is, if you're at the point where, man, I'm just going to go for it on 4th down, then get rid of your kicker. Like, the only reason why you're going for it is because you don't believe in your kicker.
Yeah.
So my thing is, like, if you don't believe in them, you don't go for it on 4th down. You replace your kicker. That's what you do. I would hate it if we became a team who, we're going to go for it every time on 4th down. Like, I know Brett Favre said that, but I hope he was being sarcastic. Like, I do not think.
Well, I'm not even talking about every. I mean, if it's 4th and 10, of course not. But 4th and 3, like, what yardage is it? If it's 4th and 3, do you you're in the opponent's side? Do you go? I mean,
I'm a big believer in our defense. If we have a good defense, why you need to go for it? Let your defense go play defense. Like, I mean, pin them deep, pin them inside the 20, inside the 10. Let your D go out there. I mean, you're struggling with the defensive player. I mean, you're struggling with the kicker right now. That doesn't mean I have to go out and try to score. No, it just means, okay, like, if we don't feel like we can get him inside 40 yards, then I mean, like, if it's like a 40, it depends, right? Like, on 4th down 5, like, if you go for it on 4th and 5, yet you're at the 40, no, I don't agree with that. That's too short of a field for the opposing team's offense. Like, no, like, punt the ball. Like, if you don't trust Narvison, punt the ball and get in someone that you can trust.
The 30-35?
Well, it depends. On the 30-35-yard field goal, right now, I'm still trusting Narvison to hit those.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trusting Narvison to hit anything under 40. I'm still trusting. And here's the thing. If he starts missing them, you got to let him go.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You got to let him go.
Because all of his misses has been 40-plus yards, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of them that are 40. And then the ones that he's missed in the 30s, they're like barely misses. I think he's only missed one under 40, and it banged off the pole. But he does have one that he missed. Alex says that that he thinks we reacted last year with Carlson.
Overreacted?
Yeah, thank you, Tommy, for the gifts, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, he said we he thinks that people overreacted with Carlson and how bad he was, and I kind of agree with that. I think I did too. He admitted that he did. I think I overreacted too.
I mean, I think maybe hindsight, yes, but I think you hit the nail on the head. Is what kind of lost him his job in the fan vote was his extra point missing. Yeah, that's missing 5 extra points. I think it was 5. You said,
yeah,
34-39.
Yeah,
missing 5 extra points. That's all. I mean,
I think, Andrew. When it comes to the kicker, right? I'm a big believer, not just in the kicking department, but everything. You got to work with what you have. So right now you got Narvison, right? Okay. You just got to make sure Narvison is not doing the things that are absolutely unacceptable, which he kind of is right now. Like Carlson, the number one thing that was unacceptable with Narvison is not so much that you missed something in the playoffs against the 49ers. Like, nah, bro, like, I can live with that. I mean, it's a tough loss. I can live with that. But the unacceptable thing on Carlson's part was extra points. Unacceptable. You have to hit your extra points, man. You have to. Narvison, I think right now with Narvison, what's unacceptable is you going every game missing a field goal, man. Like I think right now that's unacceptable. You got to show some consistency because Matt, did you hear the commentator say that Matt LaFleur doesn't trust Kraft going one-on-one with the defensive end to block? Okay, well, they were saying like LaFleur was saying, well, I don't have Mercedes Lewis anymore. I can't leave my tight end one-on-one with the defensive end. So you see, there's some things that Matt LaFleur doesn't trust yet still, right, with Kraft. But like my thing is, Narvison is 10 times worse though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if we're talking about trusting our players, I personally think if LaFleur did not trust Narvison, he would have gotten rid of him by now. And so that tells me he still trusts him, which I don't get. Like, I don't get, like, what do you see in the guy? Because I even heard the commentator say that pregame, Narvison looked bad too. They were saying that pregame he wasn't hitting his kicks. And then he comes out, misses that 40. He redeems himself with the 40-something. But something they said in the chat, they said that they don't like that Narvison doesn't look confident anymore. And I agree with that. He doesn't look confident. And as a coach, if I'm saying I believe in you, but you don't believe in yourself, what is LaFleur supposed to do at that point, right? I mean, you got to have a confident kicker. I mean, yes, you're already missing, but you not having confidence in yourself, I don't see how I don't see how the situation gets better.
It gets better, yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Let me look at some of these comments real fast before we move on. Bucks dropped 50. Hell yeah. I had a bet on that, so I'm happy about that. Didn't we let Greg Joseph go, who kicks for the kicks? He kicks for the Giants. He did go 5 for 5 one. I was a little shocked that we got rid of Joseph too that fast. Not that we didn't go with him, but that we got rid of him kind of fast, I think. Crosby missed 7 kicks his first year, and looked how he turned out. Okay.
It's a valid point.
No, I mean it is a valid point, but Narvison's already at 5. I mean, 6 weeks in. Like I said, right now I feel like I defended Narvison too much to the point where I can't defend him anymore. If they still choose to roll with him, I'm not going to get mad. If they choose to get rid of him, I'm not going to be mad.
I'm in that same boat. Like, it is at this point, it is what it is. You got to roll with what you got. And the Packers are saying we're going to roll with Narvison, then every time he comes out, let's pray together. Yeah, but I mean,
they should make a rule that they can't ice Narvison because he's already iced by the time.
Iced himself, yeah, he iced himself.
Narvison can't kick from one of the hashes more than the other.
It's the left hash.
Yeah, I think
he has trouble at the left hash.
Go Pack, go! I think he almost has more misses than Carlson in only half the season. Yeah, Perk Rogers, we just talked about that. Carlson had 6. Narvison already has 5. The only difference is Narvison has made every extra point, which is good. But like I said, my concern, like honestly, if you ask me, is it a concern right now? No. But when it comes playoff time, think about how every Packers fan would feel if we lose because Narvison misses a chip shot or something under 40 yards or even a 41-yarder, right?
Yeah.
A kick to take us to the Super Bowl with Narvison out there and he misses a 41. Like, think about how every Packers fan would feel because they knew it was something that could have been addressed now.
Early in the season, yeah.
Yeah.
Early in the season, yeah.
All right, let's see. I seen a tweet. This is the sacrifice we have for getting a 3rd Hall of Fame quarterback. Honestly,
I mean, hey, to be honest with you, if Jordan becomes Brett and Aaron caliber, I think I would take having a bad kicker. I think.
You know, this next question is a very good one, which makes me want to bring up the standings. It says, do you think NFC North could have all 4 teams go to the playoffs? You know what? That's a very good question.
Is it possible?
Well, I want to see something.
I don't think it's possible, is it?
Well, here's the thing. In the NFC East, you got 3 good teams right now. You got Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders. So to say that the Commanders, the Eagles, or I'm sorry, to say that either the Commanders, Cowboys, and Eagles, to say that 2 of those teams won't make the playoffs, I don't think that's very likely. Right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, in the NFC South, you got the Bucks and the Falcons. So to say that one of those teams won't make the playoffs is kind of a long shot.
Well, because each division has to have a winner, a playoff team. So
right. So
how many wild card play?
There's three. There's three. So like
okay. I was just thinking there's two.
Yeah, they're saying that everyone wins their division, of course, and then all the wild cards come out of the North.
The North. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was two.
Yeah. As of right now, I think that's a long shot. I don't think that.
Yeah. No. That's. I mean, if it does, I mean, it's a possibility because I think we do have the best division in football right now.
If there is one year to do it, it's this year with the North.
Yeah. But I agree. I think two might be coming out the East, NFC East.
Even in the South with the Falcons and the Bucks.
And the Bucks, yeah.
The NFC is North. The NFC North is good. Don't get me wrong, but like to say we are gonna dominate so bad to the point where no one else comes to the playoff, comes on the wild card except the North. Way too early for that.
It's possible though.
Yeah, I would say that too. Yeah, I would say that it's possible. Okay, I seen a tweet. Okay, no, we already read that. I'm trying to get to y'all's comments. Give me a second, guys. We went through like 4 kickers through preseason 2, And Bears is still questionable in my opinion, but they look good so far. Yeah, I mean, this was a good week for the Bears to look good. They had the Jags, and I think Caleb.
For the past 2 weeks, Caleb Williams looked good.
Yeah, Caleb.
2.5, 3 weeks.
Caleb, this is my thing on Caleb. I don't know if he's going to be great, but I do think he's going to be one of their best quarterbacks that the Bears have ever had. I'll say that. I do think the Bears fans will have at least some things to cheer about with Caleb at their position. I will say that, and don't sleep on that Bears defense either. They're good.
Yeah.
NFC West has been struggling. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
They struggling. I agree with that. NFC North is best division for sure. I think preseason it was AFC North. I think right now it's the NFC North. NFC West is the only gonna have one team coming out of the NFC North with have it. Okay, you didn't make sense there, bro. Sorry. The Bears defense is a sleeper. I think a lot of people know they're good. I know they're good. I know they're good. I wouldn't call them a sleeper. It's just that I don't think they're
maybe they didn't expect them to be this good beginning of the season, if that's what you mean. But yeah, after these few weeks, you gotta say Bears are top tier defense right now. They have a good defense.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so when Narvison, let's.
You want to go the rest of special teams?
Yeah, because I do want to say something about special teams. On that punt when Reed fumbled.
Yeah,
I wrote down immediately. I said, you know what? Why is he returning when we got Nixon?
I agree. I completely agree.
And I'm like, okay, Nixon doesn't get his opportunities in the kickoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him his opportunities in the punt, right? And then on top of that, right, we're like, okay, I don't like saying this, but I was like, if Reed goes down on a punt return,
which I think that's when he got hurt. He got hurt on the punt return, his ankle, and he was questionable to come back. Luckily, he came back, but yeah, that I think that's when he got hurt was when he returned that punt. So yeah, I completely agree with what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and Tommy makes a good point here. He's like, we paid Nixon too. I'm like, yeah, I mean, we paid him to stay in Green Bay, let him do punt returns. But I was like, man, if Reed goes down on a punt return, that's one of your best players going down because why? You can't give me a good reason why you would put him back there. And then so I wrote down Nixon needs to be returning punts. And I wrote that as soon as Reed went down and fumbled. The very next play, Nixon goes out there and sets us up with good field position. I was like, I hope you stick with that because there is no need to have Reed back there. No need.
Yeah, like you said, especially since we're not getting the kickoff returns that we thought we were with this new kickoff rule, right? Everybody was thinking Keyshawn's going to eat in this new kickoff, but it really hasn't happened too much because kickoffs are not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, utilize his speed and burst on punt returns. I completely agree.
I think so too. I think he is very good in the special teams. Nixon is very good, and offensively, Reed is doing more stuff offensively than Nixon on the defense, right?
Defense, right.
Right. So like, I mean, Reed's gonna be a little tired. You don't want him muffing a punt because he's tired. No, like put Nixon out there like that.
I'm on the same page as you. I completely agree with that.
I'm glad we could. That is something I did write down.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that as soon as it happened. I was like, why? Every time I see Reed back there, I'm like, I like it. I mean, I get it because Reed is explosive, but at the same time, you're risking that injury on punt return.
I think the reason why Reed was back there is because they absolutely want someone that they know is going to catch it.
Catch the ball? Yeah, for sure. I mean, that could be 100% the reason why.
But like my thing is, let Nixon set you up with field position, man, on times when he can. Because here's the thing, he's gonna do it. Maybe not every time, right? But he's gonna do it. Like I think we can agree with that. All right, so you want to jump into the defense?
Yeah, defense. Okay.
So we'll jump into the defense. Let me just go over some of these real fast. If the Falcons can get another pass rusher at the deadline, I think they're a legit contender. I think they're a legit contender right now. The Packers, Lions, and Bears all the top 3 teams in forced turnovers. Wow, I didn't know that. That's actually, that's very good. Is their D doing pretty good? Top pass rush needs another body, but secondary, okay. Reed couldn't cut the corner on that return too. I don't think Reed should be back there. Okay, all right, we can move on. All right, so let's flip through the defenses. You want to go first on the defense, or you want me?
Go ahead. What you got? I'll comment.
Okay. So I wrote down every drive, so I'm gonna go through every drive real fast. First drive, I just wrote excellent. I think they went 3 and out on that first drive. Second drive, we made a stop. However, what I realized on that second drive, what was working for the Cardinals, and honestly, I've been seeing it in other games too. The screen is there, bro, for other teams. Like that's what concerns me about our defense. Is like, man, if they screen us, like it goes off, bro. It can go off. So I was like, man, how do you stop this screen, but at the same time you want to stop Murray? So I kind of get it. But I realized, like, not just this game, but in other games too, when people run a screen on us, sometimes it's there, man. So that's what I wrote on the third D drive. I think we made another stop. I wrote down that we brought pressure at the right time. Did we have a sack this game? Because I think that was the only like down on the defense this game is that we didn't have a sack. But I just want to make sure if that's true before I say we didn't have a sack.
I'm looking. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up too. Murray was getting rid of the ball fast, so no, we didn't have a sack. All right, let me move on because I know there was like 9 drives or something. Okay, the fourth D drive, another 3 and out. Evan Williams staying disciplined and making a play. We already talked about that. Fifth drive, that was when the Cardinals scored the first touchdown. All I wrote was I think we played a little too soft on that touchdown. I think Jair should have been there. I think it was a zone call though, but I think it was too much room. And Kyler's too good of a quarterback. He saw it right away. Let me get rid of this. He saw it right away, and I mean it was a good play by the Cardinals, but I think it was just a little too soft. What do you think?
On that touchdown play? So it was definitely the call. I'm not blaming Jair on that one because if you go rewatch it, if I remember correctly, Jair was there, but if he would have went earlier, somebody was going down the sideline. So Jair basically had to cover.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so he basically had to cover 2 people. I think it was just a bad call for either a great offensive call for that defensive call, or halfway just mess up that call or whatever. But yeah, it was definitely soft.
Yo, my uncle, why are you calling me? He's on my live and he's calling me. I'm live right now, dude. Don't call. I'll call you after the live, uncle. All right, so all right, let's see. Yeah, so I put that they were too soft on that. On the 6th drive, one thing I realized on the 6th drive. Oh, and here's another thing, Uncle or Andrew. Does this concern you? Do you think we can tackle well? Do you think we tackle well?
We tackle better. we tackle better than I think we've ever have. To be honest with you,
I think week 1 in Brazil, our tackling was terrible.
Yeah,
but I will say we are getting better. But there was like little pits and pieces in this game where I'm like, dang, our tackling looks bad, man.
But to be honest with you, that's been an issue forever. But I feel like this year we're actually a little bit better than we have been in years past. So
on this drive, I also wrote down that was a drive where the Cardinals drive stalled. Murray missed a wide open guy that beat Stokes.
Yeah.
I wrote that Stokes getting beat. Seems like that's kind of like another Narvison issue where he gets beat once a game. How bad are we supposed to? I mean, how upset should we be about that? Do you think it's an issue? Because I can see Stokes. I've always viewed Stokes as that one cornerback that no one really talks about because not a lot of action goes your way. But I always think that's a good thing, right? I always think that's a good thing. But it can also kind of, well, if not a lot of action is going your way, it can cause you to sleep on a play and get beat, just kind of like what he did there.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of torn because I like Stokes, but at the same time, I can see how that could be an issue.
No, Stokes needs. He was on my one of my lower grades, I think, today. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, luckily Kyler overthrew the receiver. But yeah, I don't know how I was a big Stokes guy too. Lately, I don't know how I feel about him. Like
I'm just not concerned like how big of an issue is that. But someone said, what do I think about Stokes? And they said, every time I watch Stokes, he looks like Kevin King. I'll be honest, Kevin King was bad. Stokes is not Kevin King. Stokes is better than Kevin King.
I mean, he's not as bad, but he's Kevin King-esque. I can definitely see what they're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, like I said, I was a big Stokes guy, especially his rookie season. Mm-hmm. Like I said, he's kind of like I said, I can see where that comment's coming from. It's like I won't say he's as bad as Kevin King, but there's some moments where I'm like, yeah, that could definitely be Kevin King Jr. right there.
Yeah. Taj0923 says thoughts on us signing the Rizzler at kicker. We actually just touched on the kicker, man. I don't think we're gonna go back.
The Rizzler, isn't that little kid on Instagram or I don't know.
Someone said we might need to bring Kalen King up. Didn't Kalen King he got cut right by the Falcons or wherever he was? I think they cut him. But all right.
I thought we released him and then put him on the practice squad.
No. We did release him, but he got I think he took.
Did he make waivers?
No. We cut him, and then I think he took a year off due to personal health reasons. I think I'm not sure, and then he came back, and I think he got signed with the Falcons, and he had a few good games last year, I think, but then I think they cut him this year. I'm not sure.
Kalen King's a rookie, isn't he?
No, bro. They're talking about Kevin King.
No, I know who Kevin King is. They just said we should bring Kalen King up. Kalen King was that quarterback rookie.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, let me read this. Hold on.
Right? And that.
Oh, okay. That's my bad, Perk Rogers. My bad. Yeah, he's talking about Kalen King about bringing.
Maybe he might not be a rookie, but he's.
No, he is a rookie. He is a rookie. He was our 7th round draft pick.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I mean, okay. I know we released him in the offseason, but he made waivers and we signed him to the practice squad.
Okay. No, yeah, Perk Rogers, I get you. As far as bringing him up, I like Kalen King.
I liked him in the preseason. I did like him in the preseason.
I thought he was. Well, is he practice squad or did he make the team?
No, he's on practice squad.
Oh, okay.
Because we had released him, and then he cleared waivers. No other team picked him up, so we picked him back up and put him on our practice squad.
Dang, the Packers must not have liked what they saw then, man.
I mean, his last game didn't look too good for him in preseason, but the other games I thought he looked great. A lot of people in camp said he looked great too. So I don't know. I like Kalen King. I think he'll be good, but maybe not. I think it's too soon.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon for him.
Yeah, I think Carrington Valentine
is gonna have to get more involved, I think.
And I think right now Valentine has a very high ceiling compared to Kalen King. Even though I do like Kalen King, it's just that the commentators they said something very funny this game. They said that Jeff Hafley has a good problem, that he has too many good players. and that's a good problem to have. So it's not that Kalen King can't play; it's just that our defense is stacked. I personally think our defense is stacked. Someone said, "Man, as a Texans fans, I'm nervous about playing y'all next week." I think you should be, to be honest. I mean, like, I think the Texans are a good team, but I think the Packers are rolling right now. Do you like the Vikings? I've never hated the Vikings. I think out of all the rivals, well, actually not. I think the Lions are the rivals that I have the least amount of beef with. But
I agree.
I mean, I've never hated the Vikings. I don't trust them though. Like if I was a fan, I don't trust the Vikings. Thoughts on Bears? We touched on Bears a little bit. We think they have a very good defense, and we think Caleb Williams will be their best quarterback in a long time, and that Bears fans will have something to cheer about every now and then. That's as far as I'll give them credit for now. They cooked you. Sorry to tell you, try not to be cocky. Well, if you know football, we'll see where we're at the end of the season. And if you know football,
that comment?
They said that they cooked us in week 4 or whatever, which they did, yeah. But I mean, we'll see who's standing last at the end of the season.
That's a long season.
What we all care about. And I mean, you can't talk too much mess, man, when you have no championships either. But all right, so we wearing the icy white jersey next week too. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're wearing the white ones. I'll be there. I'll be in Lambeau next week.
Yeah, Bears are going to roll Green Bay. I highly doubt that, but okay. All right, so we'll move on. I'll come back to the comments here in a little bit, guys. Someone also said, I think the whole NFC North will be in the playoffs. If there is one year to do it, it is this year, but I don't think it will happen. There's too many good teams in the NFC right now. Defense. Okay, so the 7th drive, I put our first takeaway of the game, and I called that. I sent you a text, dude.
Yeah, you did. You did text me saying I smell a turnover here, and 5 seconds later, it was a fumble recovery.
And then 8th drive, all I wrote was in capital letters, Evan Williams. He punched that ball out. Very good play. And then the 9th drive, that's when I noticed Lucas wasn't disciplined on the end, and I just wrote down our defensive ends need to contain the end. But aside from that, very good game from the defense. Very happy. So glad Jeff Hafley decided to leave Boston College and come be our DC. He's putting the pieces together, man, and that's what I like to see. I like to see us getting better. I love it when we give up less than 20 points. I fucking love it because it shows a good defense. I think if you give up less than 20 points, especially with Love in this offense, you should win the game. Not only is Hafley not giving up points, he's taking the ball away. +2 in turnover differential. Dude, as a Packers fan who we've had defenses struggling year in and year out, you gotta be happy with the way our defense is playing, man.
Yeah, if anybody's kind of criticizing the Packers defense right now as a Packers fan, you gotta be smoking something because this is what we kind of been wanting for the past handful of seasons, right?
Yeah.
They showed the graphic. We had 18 turnovers, takeaways last year. And we were up to 15 up until before. I think we had 15 going into the game, didn't we?
Going
into the game, right? So I think we had 3 this game. So we're basically tied from the total we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, you got to be happy with the defense.
Yeah, same players too. Same players, Andrew.
Yeah,
same players.
Yeah. So you got to be happy. My takeaway from this defense was, we didn't have. You brought up the stat we didn't have a sack, but we got pressure on Kyler Murray. It felt like.
Yeah.
I felt Rashawn and Kenny both had a great game. I feel like Enagbare had a great game. Preston, I feel like that defensive line had a great game, even though they didn't get sacks.
Yeah.
You could see the pressure getting to Kyler. And him making some ill-advised throws, overthrows, stuff like that. So that's what I was happy to see, was that defensive line finally getting pressure.
Yeah.
I,
as a Packers fan who really is like dissecting this defense and watching them carefully every week, like if you were to tell me, Packers fans won't get a sack this game, yet Kyler Murray will scramble for 7 times for 14 yards, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
Because I told you in the preview, if he doesn't run on us, we're winning the game. I personally believe that. Like,
and I think they were disciplined in the rush lanes. There was numerous times Kenny, man, I don't know if you remember, Kenny blew up that block and almost had James Conner in the backfield.
Yeah,
He just missed that tackle. Like, that was beautiful. Rashawn, there's multiple times where he beat his player, but they would roll to the opposite side. He would run and make that tackle on the opposite side of the field. It was great defensive line football, man.
Yeah. Defense only let Kyler throw for 214 yards. I'll take that any day. Like I said, the rush, I think we said was at 3.9 for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think overall,
it's not bad. It's not bad. It could have been better, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I mean,
yeah, that's not bad.
The only person that I think really went off, and we talked about it earlier, was Trey McBride, and he's a beast. So
yeah, McBride looked good. Yeah.
Trey McBride looked good, and again, that's our linebackers. There was people in the Twitter comments saying Quay had a bad game. I don't think he had a bad game. He didn't have a great game, but he didn't have a bad game. Edgerrin Cooper again is a beast. And Evan Williams, guys to play. Like I think they found their packages. I think I don't want to get this twisted. I think Evan Williams was in there a lot when they were playing nickel, and it was Bullard when they were playing their base defense. So I think they kind of had their switch around. So Hafley's using these young players really well.
Yeah. I think, and I'm gonna go to the comments because someone just said something about Quay, but I think Edgerrin Cooper hits the rushing hole better than Quay.
Oh, for sure. Quay. There was one play where Quay went middle, and then I don't know who the I don't know who
he looked lost, bro.
Huh?
He looked lost.
And then the running back went to the other side. I'm like, like I said, I think Quay needs to be on the outside, rushing on the outside.
Yeah.
I think being in the middle is kind of messing them up. Being in the middle is messing them up.
But the way Hafley is mixing up that rush, like there's new players in there.
Oh yeah,
like
have Rashawn rushing in the middle.
I bet you that never crossed Joe Barry's mind ever when he was a defensive coordinator, and like it just tells you how much knowledge Hafley has when it comes to just defense in general. Like he knows how to run a defense, right? Yeah. Okay, let's look at this. Jacob said you may beat us at the end of the year. He's a Vikings fan. Yeah, I think it'll be a good game at the end of the year too. If the Vikings can keep rolling, it's going to be a game that everyone's going to be watching. Honestly, thought this game was going to be closer. Thought Kyler Murray was going to go off. I didn't think he was going to go off. I thought
their offense was going to be a little bit better than what they were.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I would agree with that too. Bears haven't gone up. Bears haven't given up more than 20 points in almost a year. That's
a good stat. If it's, I'm trusting that person.
I don't know if that's true either, but if that is,
that's crazy.
That they should be good then.
In over a year?
Yeah. Someone said the refs won the game. Attaboy. Clearly didn't watch the game. if you think that. Quay just got picked on the end. Quay just got picked on in the middle of the field. Other than that, he good. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he looked better a lot of times coming off the edge. Like there was some stunts that they ran where I think Quay came off the outside. He looked a lot better. But yeah.
Someone said all there is in Green Bay is love. I don't know if he means like there's a lot of love in Green Bay or if he thinks that Green Bay just
only has Jordan Love.
If that's the case, you haven't been watching the games. Always hard to play against the refs. Still have no idea what game you're watching. All right, so I'll go ahead and let you touch on the defense now. Anything? Or I know you did a little bit.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I think you can definitely tell when Jair's in the game when he's not in the game. Like I love Jair pressing the receivers. Like I don't know if you saw a lot of his coverages where he was jamming them at the line.
He jammed when Harrison went down. He jammed them.
Yeah,
and then he went down, and I think that's a lot of Jeff Hafley, bro. I do, but I even told you when last year. Was it last year or the year before that when Jefferson came to Green Bay at the end of the season, Jair was on him, and this was with Joe Barry. Jair was on him, bumping him, and Jefferson had like 2 catches for 15 yards. But you see, I think that was Jair going to Joe Barry saying, "Hey, let me guard this guy," right?
Yeah.
And I think Hafley, I always knew with Hafley, I knew our corners were going to be bumping, and I think it's very good because in the NFL. you can get beat pretty bad with quick passes, right? So I think it is good to bump at the line. You got to give those routes maybe another second to develop, so your defensive line has a chance to get at the quarterback.
Yeah, if they have a free release, it's going to be a lot easier for the receiver
Right.
to run their route and beat the DB off the line. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean defense.
Yeah, I mean the defense. I mean overall, if I had to give grades for all like the teams, I think defense had an A+ for me. Offense had an A.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about, man, let's give it up for the Packers for playing a full game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we played a full game, but there's a lot of criticism. Oh, they're only playing one half of the game. And, if you ask me, I think that was valid criticism. Like, we were only playing one half of the game, but we came out and we looked
pretty
good.
much dominated the whole. I mean, we pretty much dominated the whole game. Like I said, I don't like this game. Is very hard to criticize. I know we like to criticize and stuff, but this one's very hard to do. And it's like you got to give your flowers when they're due.
Yeah, and I mean, like I think like we criticize because we want to be great, right? We want to see this team win a Super Bowl. But I mean, yeah, like I said, Jay Love should have 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions this game.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see what you would want more than that. Josh Jacobs, you gave him 18 carries for 62 yards, 3.4.
Yeah, you want to see that little average to go up. If we're looking offense.
Well, most games it is up. Most games it is up, right?
Yeah, so like the offensive line maybe pass block or run block a little bit better, but
yeah, and I mean Josh Jacobs had 3 catches for 28 yards too. I mean, I'm happy with Jacobs. I mean,
so he had 80 something yards total today, receiving and rushing.
Probably, yeah, a little over. And then defensively, man, I told you I smell that takeaway because I was like, man, we in the third quarter and we still don't have a takeaway. I was like, oh, it's coming. And then guess what? Not only did it come, but it came on the next 2 possessions too.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like, the only bad thing about the defense is Xavier McKinney's streak is over.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I feel like Kyler didn't really throw it towards his area too much.
He did. He did quite a bit though. He threw 32 times. So
not deep towards his area. I feel like a lot of
quick shit. A lot of quick shit.
Yeah. Now I feel like a lot of it was middle. I mean, you think about it. Trey McBride had 9 of those receptions.
Yeah.
A lot of it was in middle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't think he had the opportunity to do it. But that's a playmaker. Like if teams are wary where you're at and they stay away from you, that kind of bodes well for the defense, huh?
Yeah. So all right, let's. I'm pretty much good with that.
Yeah, man. Like I said.
All right, so
that's all I got for today.
Yeah, we're gonna open
any comments or.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up the door for comments now. If people want to come in and say stuff before we get off. Someone said great game for Packers fans and fantasy teams. Definitely a great game, man. Probably best game of the season so far. Yeah, that's really it, Andrew. Yeah. Well, all right, man. I'm gonna go call my uncle back. I know he's watching the Cowboys. I'm probably gonna go check in on that game right now.
Yeah, it's 17 or 20-3 right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm definitely calling my uncle right now. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming on. Probably do an NFL recap probably on Tuesday.
I should be good Tuesday, yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming on.
All right, go Pack, go.
Yeah, go Pack, go.